Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Reacher Season 3 might have confirmed that its titular character is truly over Roscoe, which significantly reduces the odds of her return. Similar to the original Jack Reacher books, the Amazon Prime Video detective series has ensured that Reacher has a new romantic love interest in each new installment. Owing to this, Jack Reacher parted ways with Roscoe in Season 1 before briefly pursuing a relationship with his former military police ally, Carla Dixon. Before Reacher Season 2's end credits started rolling, Carla and Jack, too, had peacefully broken up. In Season 3, Reacher and Duffy also got romantically entangled after some intensity from their high-stakes mission seeped into their dynamic. However, as always, things ended in the season's finale when Reacher chose the open road, while Duffy settled for a life with no commitments. Somewhere in these romantic ups and downs with Duffy in Season 3, Reacher also seemingly established that he has been over Roscoe for quite some time. Roscoe is portrayed as one of the main characters in Reacher Season 1. Although Season 2 does not feature her in any capacity, it does not avoid dismissing her presence. Instead, it features a subtle reference to her past relationship with Reacher when Neagley teases him and brings up his romantic history. With its Finlay cameo, Season 2 also seems to tease that the show might drift away from the original Jack Reacher books to mark Roscoe's return in a future installment. However, after all this, Season 3 almost confirms she will never return. Unlike Season 2, Season 3 drops no references or callbacks to Reacher's relationship with the Willa Fitzgerald character. This establishes that even though Reacher and Roscoe had incredible chemistry in Season 1, it has been a while since Reacher called off his relationship with her and left Margrave. Season 3 also establishes that Reacher has been in many casual relationships since Season 1's events, which further confirms that he is unlikely to ever revisit that chapter of his life. In Reacher Season 3's early moments, the Alan Ritchson character refuses to join forces with the DEA because he hopes to avoid trouble. However, he agrees to go undercover for them when he realizes that his mission will give him the chance to kill Xavier Quinn, the man who brutally murdered his military police colleague, Dominique Cole. Realizing how dangerous and vicious Quinn can be, Reacher even keeps Neagley at arm's length. This is surprising because Neagley is one character he always seeks help from, regardless of how dangerous his mission may be. Although Roscoe proves to be a worthy ally for Jack Reacher in Season 1, the Alan Ritchson character would have feared putting her in harm's way by getting her involved in his pursuit to exact revenge on Quinn. The fact that he keeps Neagley away from his dangerous covert operation in Reacher Season 3 suggests that he would never have gotten someone like Roscoe involved. Although Roscoe proves to be a worthy ally for Jack Reacher in Season 1, the Alan Ritchson character would have feared putting her in harm's way by getting her involved in his pursuit to exact revenge on Quinn. Since Roscoe is also not a part of Lee Child's Persuader in any capacity, it makes sense that Season 3 stays true to its source material and does not force her inclusion in its story. Given how each new book in Lee Child's Jack Reacher series features a new love interest for the titular character, it seems unlikely that Roscoe will return in the Prime Video show's future installments. However, since the upcoming Neagley spin-off show will follow an original story, it could include Roscoe in some capacity. The Willa Fitzgerald character could team up with Maria Sten's Neagley in one of the installments of the Reacher spin-off series, which would bring a sense of familiarity to the show and also give audiences the Roscoe comeback they have been hoping Season 3. I truly fear Jack Reacher is over Roscoe. As the credits rolled on the last episode of Reacher Season 3, an unsettling feeling settled in the pit of my stomach. With adrenaline still coursing through my veins from the high-stakes action, I reflected on the storyline that had unfolded over the past 8 episodes. Intense and visceral, the show managed to weave complex narratives centered around justice and revenge. However, nestled in the heart of the season was a thread that made me brace for the journey of Jack Reacher, the relationship that has haunted fans since its inception, the dynamic with Roscoe. For those who have followed the saga of Jack Reacher, the former military police major turned wandering vigilant, the presence of Roscoe in his life has always felt essential. Introduced in the first season, Roscoe Conklin is not just a love interest for Reacher. She embodies a connection to a life that both excites and terrifies him. Their chemistry crackled on screen, emboldened by the fierce nature of both characters. It was a partnership built on shared strengths, but also on vulnerability. As the seasons progressed, viewers were left captivated by their bond, until Season 3 took a darker turn. This season, which had many thrilling elements, also showcased a gradual shift in Reacher's focus. As he fought against corrupt officials and faced his enemies with unwavering resolve, the emotional stakes seemed to drift too far from the heart of the series. The key aspects that cemented Reacher's humanity, his connections, his moral compass, were frequently overshadowed by the relentless pursuit of justice. As a result, my concern for Reacher's relationship with Roscoe deepened, leading me to worry that he may be moving on, perhaps even severing ties with the only true romantic connection he's ever had. Throughout the season, subtle but poignant shifts hinted at Reacher's growing detachment. Initially, Reacher and Roscoe's dynamic brimmed with electric tension, filled with flirtation and moments of intimacy that showcased their undeniable chemistry. Flashbacks to their shared experiences from Season 1 were intertwined in this season's narrative, framing their backstory as one filled with passion and mutual respect. Yet the present interactions felt markedly different, almost as if they were two ships passing in the night. The first signal of this shift arrived with Reacher's steadfast determination to lean into the chaos of his life as a lone wolf. The show depicted him crossing paths with various characters, each presenting new conflicts and challenges. As Reacher found himself drawn farther into a world of violence and deception, it became evident that he was battling not just external foes, but the internal struggle of recognizing what he truly wanted. Roscoe represented an anchor to normalcy, a tether to a life outside of the battlefield. But as he became embroiled in conflict, it felt as though he was slowly letting go. Compounding this emotional distance were the conversations they shared, which devolved from deeply connecting moments into mere check-ins. Roscoe, while still exhibiting her formidable spirit and sharp wit, began to feel like an afterthought in Reacher's whirlwind life. The lack of meaningful dialogue between them struck an emotional chord. Gone were the whispers that once filled the space between them. In their place were fleeting exchanges etched with tension and unaddressed feelings. Regardless of his explosive endeavors, Reacher's character has always carried a vulnerability born of past trauma and loss. The showrunners had previously done an extraordinary job of portraying this depth, and yet, as the whirlwind of Season 3 spun him farther from Roscoe, that vulnerability started to fray. Here was a man who had already lost so much, a man who had sworn to protect those he cared about, and now I couldn't shake the feeling that he was ready to walk away from one of his few remaining emotional anchors. Furthermore, the introduction of new characters brought an intriguing dynamic that both captivated and troubled me. Several new antagonists crossed Reacher's path, and their presence ignited sparks of attraction and rivalry that seemingly pulled him away from Roscoe's orbit. While it was thrilling to see Reacher engage with these new faces, I couldn't help but wonder if they represented an emotional crossroads for him. The allure of new beginnings in the chaos of his life contrasted with the steadfast loyalty Roscoe still held for him, creating an emotional tension that left me questioning if Reacher would consciously choose to disconnect from the past he once valued. The season culminated in a visceral showdown, laden with action and drama that once again filled me with excitement. Yet, beneath the adrenaline-fueled climax, the emotional undercurrent remained unresolved. Reacher had saved lives and fought valiantly, but the cost seemed like it could be his bond with Roscoe. That realization left me fearing that perhaps Jack Reacher was not only over the immediate challenges he faced, but also the genuine connection that once grounded him. As the finale closed, a haunting unease settled over me. I wanted Reacher to pursue justice, to fight the good fight, yet I also craved the intimacy he shared with Roscoe, a connection that embodied the warmth of who he could be when he allowed someone in. The bittersweet longing was palpable, merging the thrill of the chase with the ache of emotional distance. In the end, the beauty of Reacher lies in its multifaceted character exploration. Reacher is not just a brute force, but a complicated individual shaped by his choices, relationships, and ultimately his own sense of identity. If the show continues down this path of separation from Roscoe, we risk witnessing a growth that lacks the essential balance of human connection. As fans, we invest not just in the adventure, but also in the relationships that define these characters. My fear is that in Reacher's relentless quest for truth and justice, he may become a solitary figure, opting for the thrill of the chase over the warmth of companionship. In the battle between human connection and heroic ideals, I truly worry that Jack Reacher may have lost sight of the one person who offered him love amidst the chaos. A risk that could change the tone of this beloved character's journey forever. The question that lingers after Season 3 is whether Reacher will reclaim the pieces of himself that connect him to the world and to Roscoe, or if he will continue down a path that risks leaving his humanity behind. Only time will tell if the bond with Roscoe can emerge from the shadows, reigniting the flame of hope against a backdrop of relentless action.